that maker's heart. Them Brett's on air, strong and clear, rocking Wyoming from ear to ear. He's wrangling signals like a boss, showing the world what hams don't toss. It's the Amateur Radio Roundtable. We're loud, we're more than cable. 8 o'clock Central, that's the call. Log in, check in, don't miss it at all. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark on screen with hams worldwide in the in-between. Come on now, don't be gone. We're at W5KUB.com. We're loud, we're live, we're more than cable. 8 o'clock Central, that's the call. Log in, check in, don't miss it at all. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark on screen with hams worldwide in the in-between. Come on now, don't be gone. We're at W5KUB.com. Got the dial set, coffee in my hand, MC. Signals in the air from across the land. A shack, a screen, and a vibe so right. We're going live again this Tuesday night. It's not just static, it's a call sign wave, where legends hang and the airwaves blaze. Hit the stream, yeah, don't be late. The round table's rolling, it's gonna be great. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur Radio Roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down, building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WI7BG shouting clear, coming in strong from ear to D. Oh, and Mark P, yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. It's more than mics and modulation. It's heart and soul in every station. From kits and code to satellites, we learn, we laugh, we share the nights. So grab your rig, grab your crew, it's always something cool and new. No matter the band, no matter the zone, you'll feel at home when you click that till. The best ham radio show online. Amateur Radio Roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down, building gear out, grab your mic MC. Another Tuesday, feeling just right. GD, from coast to coast, we're tuning in at W5KUB. Let's begin. Whether you're a novice or extra class, there's a place for you. Come join the blast.
How's
Building bridges from shack to shack. Ham radio family, we got your back. It's the best ham show on earth. Amateur radio round.
Howdy.
Full of work. Tune in 8 p.m. Tuesday night.
Hey there.
Hey. Well, when did you get
Hang on, I
back?
gotta go change shirts.
Yeah, when did you get back?
Yesterday, let me go get a real shirt on.
Okay.
The Roundtable's waiting for you. Plain KW5GP breaks it down so clean. MC, networks and tech dream scene. GD and DD, building the future, one note at a time. Explaining it easy like a nursery rhyme. And then Breck WI7BG hits the stream. With hamfest treasures, a picker's dream. Radios, gadgets, vintage and new. Showing up the finds that make us drool. It's the best ham show on earth. Amateur radio roundtable. Full of
All right.
PM Tuesday night at W5KUB.com. It's out of sight from Q.
You get back when, yesterday?
Tom's got you covered, he's bringing the light. Come on now, don't miss the view.
Yeah.
Can you-
Because from Orlando. Yeah, I missed. Hang on, I gotta cut this. There we had the audio feed.
Shared over coffee cups. Laughs and
Thing Orlando was delayed, and I missed my canal, so I spent the night in Dallas and got back in yesterday morning.
Okay.
KUB.com every Tuesday. Tom and all of you. We're making ham dreams come true.
I got your pictures, so I
But
got
I
them loaded.
And yeah, to talk to you offline about this. I don't want to yet, but
Okay.
you're going to want to get this for an interview and segment.
Questions fly, the chat lights up. Stories shared over coffee cups. Laughs and lessons on the air. Tuesday nights, we're all there. It's the best ham show.
I think Brett's going to be a little late tonight.
Roundtable. Know your worth. Tune in, chat, learn, and play. We're live at W5KUB.com every Tuesday. Brett, Tom, and all of you. We're making ham dreams come true.
Are you going down to the Corinth Hamfest?
Amateur radio roundtable. Know your worth.
Yeah, just checked my calendar, and I had the Ozark date right, and I am going to do a forum.
Yeah, I saw Harold sent me a note. It showed me and you both giving a forum. I wasn't planning on giving a forum, but I guess I will now.
Well, that's last flyer. But one double check with me. The flyer, odds are you're doing it.
That's the first I saw of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's every other weekend now for a while.
Yep.
But as you can tell, Orlando was great.
Yeah, it looked like it was. Looked like the weather was perfect. The last time I was there, the weather was hot. It got really hot.
Oh gosh, no. It was absolutely perfect the entire weekend. It was only at that's when the front, and it was actually north of all north and westbound flights were about an hour and a half. Just made to miss my connection.
Did you go through Charlotte?
No, I went through Dallas.
Oh, okay.
I flew to Southwest this trip.
Yeah, yeah. Were the cheerleaders?
Once we got there.
Were the cheerleaders having their deal this year?
I did not see any support. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Nope, did not see any of that. But I won 2 raffle prizes on Friday.
That's good.
Joe Eisenberg did his clean up.
Say he did?
Yes. Gosh, he won, probably about 7 or 8 prizes.
Oh, man.
Tune it in, the static fades a myth. Voices rising on the RF waves. Every night it's time to go. Ham fams meeting on the video. Tom W5, KUB's in control. Pushing with that broadcast soul. From shack to screen, near or far. He's the reason we know who we are. See but your radio roundtable. Live and let rockin' every label. We're on at 8 Central every night. With signals clear and spirits bright. With Tom, Glenn KW5GP, and Brett WI7BG. And a shout out to Mark P. You know he brings the heat. Join the crew and tag along at W5KUB.com. Yeah! Glenn's in deep with the DIY. Building radios that touch the sky. Schematic dreams and soldered art. He brings that maker's heart. Then Brett's on air, strong and clear. Rocking Wyoming from ear to ear. He's wrangling signals like a boss. Showing the world what hams don't toss. Amateur radio roundtable. We're loud, we're live, we're more than cable. 8 o'clock Central, that's the call. Log in, check in, don't miss it at all. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark on screen. With hams worldwide in the in-between. Come on now, don't be gone. We're at W5KUB.com. We're live, we're more than cable. 8 o'clock Central, that's the call. Log in, check in, don't miss it at all. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark on screen. With hams worldwide in the in-between. Come on now, don't be gone. We're at W5KUB.com. Tuesday's here, it's that time again. MF, fire up the rig, call your friends. Grab your coffee, pull up a chair. MF, we're going live and the gang's all there. Tom W5KUB's in control. Streaming the show with a whole lot of soul. At W5KUB.com we unite. Ham radio magic every Tuesday night. It's the best ham radio show online. Online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Glenn KW5GP, tech so bright. Brett WI7BG, signals just right. Hey, and Mark P's there in the chat room too. And laugh and learn and sending questions through. Tune in 8 p.m. the moment's right. At W5KUB.com Tuesday night. There's a a chat room buzzing, full of cheer and talk with the hosts, they're always near. Building antennas, talking DX dreams, living that life on the ham radio scene. Soldered rigs to the latest news, solar flares or a vintage tube. Come as you are, everyone's tight. We're family here on a Tuesday night. It's the best ham radio show online and mine. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Glenn KW5GP, tech so bright. Brett WY7BG, signals just right. And Mark P's there in the chat room too. And laughing, learning, sending questions through. Tune in 8 p.m. the moment's right. At W5KUB.com Tuesday night. And old friends, new voices, call sign shine. On the round table, we all align. Every rig and every key tells a story wild and free. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable, it's our time. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark in view, sharing the waves with me and you. Join the fun, don't miss the flight. At W5KUB.com Tuesday night. See you at 8 p.m. Central, only on W5KUB.com.
All right, I'll make a quick announcement. You're listening to the pre-show for Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's a show about ham radio, shortwave, electronics. If you're out there listening on WBCQ, we're glad you're listening and would like to hear from you. Please send us an email to tom at w5kub.com, tom at w5kub.com. And I have to stop this feedback. My phone is on Facebook and audio started coming out of my phone. Anyway, we'd love to hear from you if you're out there on listening on shortwave WBCQ 7490, world famous WBCQ. Send that email to tom at w5kub.com. Love to hear from you. Tell us where you are, how you're hearing the station. If you're listening on shortwave, you're listening on Thursday nights. That's when our shortwave time is. But the live show is every Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. You can find us easily just by going to w5kub.com. And you can find us there. We'll get the show started about 7 minutes. This is just pre-show where people check in and, we check our audio and several things. We get the show lined up and we say hello to people out there in the chat room. I'll say hello to KC1YVZ Ken out there. And also, let's see. I saw who else checked in just a minute ago. Get the right mouse here. Randy's always out there. KN6BZG. We welcome you. Glad you're with us tonight. All right, we'll get back to it in just a few minutes.
coffee in my hand, MC. Signals in the air from across the land. A shack, a screen, and a vibe so right. We're going live again this Tuesday night. It's not just static, it's a call sign wave, where legends hang and the airwaves blaze. Hit the stream, yeah, don't be late. The round table's rolling, it's gonna be great. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WI7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong from here, DD. Oh, and Mark P, yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. It's more than mics and modulation. It's heart and soul in every station. From kits and code to satellite.
All right, I see watching on Facebook, we've got James Lutz out there, Rochester, Pennsylvania, N3OHU. Hello, James. Glad you're watching. You can watch us on YouTube or Facebook.
Shouting clear, coming in strong from in every ear. Oh, and Mark P, yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. Turn it on, let it play. From the heart of the hobby, night ordained. Voices rising in.
We'll be getting started in about 4 minutes. The countdown is on. 4 minutes and counting.
It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio, all-digital, real time. From Tom, Glenn, Brett to Mark P, they're the crew you want on your screen to see. So hit that stream and lock it tight. W5KUB.com Tuesday night.
You got about 3 minutes.
GD, spin a dial, grab your mic, MC. Another Tuesday, feeling just right. GD, from coast to coast, we're tuning in at W5KUB. Let's begin. Whether you're a novice or extra class, there's a place for you. Come join the blast. Building bridges from shack to shack. Ham radio family, we got your back. It's the best ham show on earth. Amateur radio roundtable, full of work. Tune in 8 p.m. Tuesday nights at W5KUB.com. It's out of sight from QRP to satellites in flight. Tom's got you covered, he's bringing the light. Come on now, don't miss the view. The round table's waiting for you. Plain KW5GP breaks it down so clean. MC networks and tech dream scene. GD and PD, building the future, one note at a time, explaining it easy like a nursery rhyme. And then Brett WI7BG hits the stream with hamfest treasures, a picker's dream. Radios, gadgets, vintage and new, showing off the finds that make us drool. It's the best ham show on earth. Amateur radio roundtable, full of work. Tune in 8 p.m. Tuesday nights at W5KUB.com. It's out of sight from QRP to satellites in flight. Tom's got you covered, he's bringing the light. Come on now, don't miss the view. The round table's waiting for you. Questions fly, the chat lights up. Stories shared over coffee cups, laughs and lessons on the air. Tuesday nights, we're all there. It's the best damn show on earth. Amateur radio roundtable. Know your worth. Tune in, chat, learn, and play. We're live at W5KUB.com every Tuesday. And Brett, Tom, and all of you, we're making ham dreams come true. See you Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central at W5KUB.com.
All right, we're going to do something unusual tonight. We're going to start on time.
It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WY7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong from here, DD. Oh, and Mark P. Yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. It's more than mics and modulation. It's heart and soul in every station. From kits and code to satellites, we learn, we laugh, we share the nights. So grab your rig, grab your crew, there's always something cool and new. No matter.
All right, we want to welcome everybody out there that's joining us tonight, especially if you're listening on shortwave WBCQ. You're listening to and watching Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, amateur radio, shortwave, electronics. You name it, we talk about it here. Want to welcome everybody to our Facebook group. It's called W5KUB. We've got about 15,000 members in that group. It follows the show. It's a great ham radio place to just ask questions, talk about, post pictures. Anything you want to do ham radio related, shortwave related, please join that group. W5KUB. You can find us also. All of our shows are recorded on on Facebook. Although Facebook only leaves them up for 30 days, people are watching the shows live and also recorded on Facebook. You can always find us on our YouTube channel, W5KUB. We've got approximately 1,000 shows recorded. We go back about 11 years on YouTube, so we've covered a lot of things over the years. Let's see what else we got going tonight. Brett's going to be a little bit late. He's at I think some kind of city government meeting that he's interested in. They're voting on something tonight, so he's going to be here to keep them straight. We got Glenn back with us tonight. He just returned from Hamcation there in Orlando. We've got a review of Orlando tonight. Hamcation. We've got a lot of pictures. That's going to be fun to look at the pictures. Get a report from Glenn. Brett's also got a video of a hamfest he went to. We'll be looking at that a little bit later in the webcast tonight. And we've got a bunch of ham fest, man. They're all starting to pile up about now. Over the next month or so, we've got a number of ham fest that are interesting. They're around close by. We'll be going to several of them and reporting back to you. Let's see if we get Glenn in here, see how Glenn is doing. Glenn, come on in here. You're up because Brett's not here, so it's just me and you tonight, at least for a little while. How you doing?
Doing good. Slept for almost 24 plus hours once I got back from Hamcation. Uh, it was a wonderful hamfest. The weather was perfect, but coming home, the flight was held on the ground for a little over an hour and a half or so, and I missed my connecting in Dallas. So I ended up sleeping in Dallas and got back yesterday morning around 10 and got unpacked and stuff like that, and just really crashed on the and went to bed early. That and literally about 24 hours worth of sleeping. I mean, the hamfest and the nights, but it was a fun hamfest. I went down to the store, and an old friend and a friend drove down to Miami, where I grew up. Saw all of our old haunts and everything. The school grew up in the school I went to, the neighborhood up in, and also stopped and waited at Mar-a-Lago on the way home. Went right by in front of there, waved at the Secret Service folks and everything. And of course, the next day was the Hamfest, and man, that's just unreal. It's going to lower my send rate. Okay. But very, very enjoyable Hamfest. I got some news that came this week we can talk about it. But just all in all, a really great fest, and you've got all the pictures to show. It's unreal. Just tons and tons of class here.
Well, I haven't been there in a couple years, so it's going to be interesting to talk about it tonight and look at the pictures. And I'm glad you got to go down here. That's a pretty good distance for us, here from Memphis to travel. And we can tell you're a true-blooded ham to go that far and spend the money, man, to go down here, especially if you have to take a flight,
No, I would not miss Orlando for the world. It's one of the best.
Oh, yeah. Last time I was down here, it got so hot, but I understand it didn't get that bad. I saw some pictures, and it looked like it's nice and sunny and clear. How was the heat?
It was actually cool in the early mornings. It was opened on Thursday. Or Friday, I had a shirt under this shirt, long sleeves, and I had to take that off because it's so warm. But 70s, maybe 80, but a very nice breeze throughout. I mean, you could not a clear sky for 3 straight.
Okay, well, very good. All right. Well, I've got your pictures loaded up. We can jump right into that, I guess. And then maybe Brett will join us here in a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pull your pictures up, and we can talk about them. Okay, man, I love talking about these things. I walking around and looking at something, and it brings back memories of years ago, man. And it's just fun to do. So I'm going to bring up the pictures, and we can talk about it. All right, let's see if I can find them here. Here we go. All right. What do we got here? This is inside, I guess, after the gate. Well, it's inside, right?
Coming through. Yeah. Coming through the will call gate. Look towards the fence, and that's part of the early crowd. I heard statements that the crowd was even bigger than last year, which would go over 2,000 people. The cool thing about Orlando, you don't crowd it because it's so spread out. But yeah, it was very in the morning there on Friday.
Well, you can tell it was dry too. Just look at that ground right there.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Oh yeah, look at that blue sky, man. That's pretty. All right. What?
Started off good old Drake L4B.
Wait a minute. $1,000. Well, that's the amplifier. I guess 1,000 might be about right.
And it's got the.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think what tube that's got.
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't remember. Don't remember. Okay, well, it looks like they took care of it. It's very clean, no scratches. It's probably
very nice.
It's probably close to 1,000. Yeah, I imagine so.
This is the side of the ops building. You can see it was just jam-packed with stuff.
Now, one building I think is commercial, isn't it? And the other building is like flea market.
That's this building. This building is the flea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a nice little amplifier there. Is that the 200? Let's see.
Yes.
That's the 200. So I guess that's a kilowatt amplifier too, maybe more. I forget. They've got two amps.
The 200 and the
220 and maybe the 200.
Yeah, the SB2. There was a 2 there as well.
Yeah, that's probably the higher power one there. Looks okay. Looks neat. Yeah.
Clean.
I'd buy it.
Oh yeah. If I had room, I would.
Now this
Lots
is a nice,
good Collins.
nice Collins receiver, but I really don't like that model for some reason. I don't know. But nice receiver. If I had room, I wouldn't throw it away. I'd set it up here somewhere and hook it up. What's that? Is that the same?
That's the KWS1.
Is that the
That's
same
the
one?
receiver and then the transmitter.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, well, it looks like they took care of it for sure.
Yeah, there was some very nice stuff.
All right. Hey, I want to say hello to Papa Doc, to Don out there, WA4YYM. He just checked in. And guys, if you just tuned in, we're looking at the Orlando Hamfest. This is a walk around that Glenn did. A couple of pieces of nice Collins equipment there. Now, for some reason, Glenn, I love the front of this Helicopters radio.
Yes,
It's
very pretty.
It just appeals to me some way. I mean, whoever laid that out and drew it out, the engineer, they did a great job on that. I love it. I love the cabinet.
Yes,
That is cool.
Again, it was just sparkling clean.
This is what is it? Who makes this? Is a Viking, or who makes this?
Johnson Ranger.
A Ranger Viking, I think is what it is.
Yeah, Viking Ranger.
Yeah. Well, it was probably very good. I don't have any experience with that one at all, but I'm sure that was a good piece of equipment there. And what I'm seeing here looks like most of the stuff out on the table has been taken care of. Well.
Yes. Just the top view of that one there.
Now what is that? That's
transformers.
What is it?
Tubes and transformers.
Yeah. All right.
They had some 3D printers and seat machines there.
Yeah. Now, a lot of 3D printers, they don't come with a cabinet like that, do they? Aren't they kind of out in the open?
Yeah, you have to add the cabinet or buy one that comes with the cabinet.
Wow. Yeah.
So those were nice looking.
Yep. Maybe someday I'll get interested in the printers. Maybe get me one. Have you got one?
Yeah, Bill in the box. I have not had a chance to
okay.
unpack.
All right. Get it out. Get it put together.
Getting there.
Yeah. Now there's a Heath kit. I think that's an Apache, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Guys, I had one of those look just like it, and I completely tore it all to pieces just to get the cabinet. I wanted a case, and I built an amplifier, 3 813s in it, just for the case. But now I wish I hadn't torn it up and junked it out,
Yeah.
All right.
There's your meter as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
They
again,
had some really neat older
everything's
radios there, though.
everything's looking pretty good. There we go. We got some old, probably 1950s. I guess those are like an All-American 5, probably.
I was just going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if those
Yeah.
front two were not all in 5.
Yeah. Don't, well, yeah, I don't know. Don't know. Couple more
There's
there.
the one that was in.
Yeah.
There's the Z one that was on the other of those.
All right. All right. Let's just think about this a minute. Now, that receiver, is that in the center there? Is that Hallicrafters?
Yes, it is.
I kind of like the looks. I don't know. I like it a little better where it's got the straight bands laid out. These are got the curve. I forget what you call this, but that's still a pretty nice looking radio right there. I like it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about the one on the left there, the black one here. That was before my time for sure. And my time goes way back. My time goes way back, but I don't remember that one at all.
You may go a little bit further back than I do. So
Yeah. All right. Yeah. There it is.
that's that.
Now, you see the black one in the center. You go over 3 to the left. That's a Hallicrafters, I think, with the 2 dials. It may be an SP600. I don't know. I had an
I
SP600.
think I got a better picture coming.
Do you? I had an SP600 and I got rid of it. I wish I'd kept it now. That was a good solid radio.
Now, there's a special story about that little block in the center.
Yeah.
There you go. It was an HQ2 for the Hammerland. But
Okay.
little one in the, that is the Pan-American Clipper, and it came off of one of the Pan-American Clipper lines.
Well, what's that? Is that a DX40 or DX60 or something? Or is that a
It's like an HQ140.
HQ? No, that's HQ140. That's a receiver. I'm talking about on the very left.
Yeah.
Silver.
Oh, the left? That I can't tell you.
I think it's help us in the chat room, guys. I think it's a I think it's a DX40 maybe, or maybe a DX60. I don't know. Transmitter.
It's not Kit. It's not a Heathkit DX40 or 60.
Oh, it's not.
No.
Maybe it's a home
Those
brew.
were still a Kit Green.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Call those pictures
somebody
up on
know
my
what that
end.
is, guys. Help us identify.
If I can't blow them up.
Help us identify the box on the left here. All right. All right. Old. Now the receiver again behind. Not sure about it.
Yeah, that one in the there it is. It's the 140 for that. But that one in the front there is the Pan American radio.
Oh yeah. Huh. You know, I need to start looking at the bigger screen, Glenn. I put me a bigger screen in here, and I'm still looking at the small output screen on the encoder here. I can't even read the model number of that. So if I look over on a big screen, I can read it. You know, yeah, HQ140X.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, HQ140.
There it is without the box in front of it.
Yeah. Hammerland. Okay. Again, maybe a little before my time, that's for sure.
Yeah, let me get it blown up on my end,
Oh.
and I can tell you.
I'll back it up. What were you gonna?
screen's running a little while I'm trying to call that up.
I don't know what it is. I'm sure in its day it was probably.
You can move on and I'll catch up.
Yeah. All right. Zenith, is that the transoceanic? I don't know. I know Zenith made a transoceanic, which that was shortwave. That may be the transoceanic. Can anybody tell me in the chat room if that's the transoceanic radio? $75 amps supply, man. That would power quite a bit up here.
Yeah. Okay. That one that we did not get was a Hartle's Electronics.
Yeah.
Says it's a meter. That one box we couldn't identify.
Hartwell, I've seen it. Yeah. That name sounds familiar.
And then the Zenith there, that is indeed a transoceanic.
I was guessing transoceanic. Yep. All right, now I can't tell you this, man. All I know is this is a Franklin. And I know that because I'm reading it on the front of the...
You're one ahead of me here.
Only because I'm reading it on the front of the radio. Got some spare tubes in it, looks like.
Yeah, that is... And that's only the description it's got on the... Is first, second tuner, third detector, and amplifiers.
Wow.
So I'm going to assume some kind of...
Now that's that's a good price. $20 for that receiver. That would be interesting. I like that receiver. That's similar to kind of what I started with in ham radio. We got a Variac there, and
that's an NC60 special.
So that's a national NC60. Okay.
Yeah.
It's an RCA log cabin. Yeah, I can tell why. I can see why they call it a log cabin. 1947 to 1948. It looks like.
Yep. Look at the quality of the casing.
Yeah. That's cool.
I mean, not a scratch on it.
Yep. All right, this is back when, these are some All-Americans, and
yep,
they've either got the octo or the miniature 7-pin tubes in them, and what they did back then, the chassis was hot a lot of times. I guess you could get killed under the right circumstances. So what they did, they either put wooden knobs or plastic knobs on the radios to insulate them. And the cabinets were made out of Bakelite. I guess that was before plastic was being used a lot. But plastic or wooden knobs is what they used to use on those radios to keep you from getting a buzz. A lot of people would lose the knobs, and knobs would fall off, and that was kind of dangerous, man. Boy, they want a lot for that log cabin.
This is the one at the bottom of the stack.
Yeah.
That's a D136A airline.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the airline.
Twin speakers.
Not familiar with the airline.
Not familiar, but beautifully restored.
Huh. Interesting. I'm not familiar with that radio. I've never seen it either.
RCA.
Yeah.
No.
Everready battery there. Let's see. What else we got? Well, I guess that's a clock radio there on that top shelf.
Yes, it is.
I didn't think about that. It's a clock radio.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. This is a Heathkit monitoring scope. You know, I've never used a monitoring scope on any of my station configurations in my 60-something years I've been a ham. I've never done it. You know, I don't know. Probably not much in there. I bet it would work good.
No. But the next one is its bigger brother.
Yeah, the Heathkit monitor. Now, what's an SB610? I'm not sure. Is that a monitor? The one below it looks like the same.
The one below it.
It's the same. It's the same as the one above it.
Yes, it's the same as above it.
Yeah.
So that's their monitor scope.
I didn't realize it had as many knobs on it as that.
I know that. Yeah.
All right, what can I see here?
I wished I had pulled that tape off, but that was a Heath tube radio.
Yeah. There's the old carbon microphone there. Those carbon microphones, the carbon gets hard in them, and they get deteriorated, and they kind of get where they don't sound good. And a lot of people, when that happened, a lot of people would take the elements out of telephones and put a telephone element in that microphone. Heathkit tube tuner. You know, back in the 60s. You know, back in the 60s, tuners were a big thing. I don't know if anybody does tuners anymore. But you know, high quality like FM tuners or whatever, and then you'd run that into an amplifier. So Heathkit had a number of parts. Yeah.
So that.
Now, military radio.
That is an RT505B/PRC-20.
Yeah, PRC something. Yeah. Well,
PRC 20.
You know, when those first came out,
according to the tag there, it works.
I don't know if anybody has seen it. Probably some of the old timers have seen this, but I'm not sure if this is tube or if it's one of the early solid states. But many of these radios were tube radios, and the tubes weren't where they plugged into sockets. The tubes looked like a little Christmas light bulb with maybe 6 or 7 wires coming out the bottom, and they would solder those wires into the circuit. And that was very strange. I haven't seen that many of them, but that's a lot of the way the tubes were in some of these military models. That's cool. I like the digital readout. And this thing works megacycles and kilocycles. I guess it wouldn't work today with megahertz. Now, I've had several things like that in the past. I've had several things like that in the past, and I ended up just stripping them down just for the parts, you know, just to get the parts out.
Oh, darn, I didn't rotate one.
Well, that's all right. That's a...
RDA.
That's a what? That's on the tip of my tongue. Tip of my tongue.
R3A.
I've seen thousands of these. This was a nice receiver. When I was overseas in Korea, we had a lot of
Like
language people that all we had maybe 20 people sitting in a long table with maybe 20 of these receivers, and every one of them were spanning the bands trying to pick up the North Koreans talking, and they would type whatever they heard and they would turn that in for intelligence. But that's back in the early 70s, 70, 71, 72, that radio was probably the most popular receiver out there. Good receiver. It's heavy too. 75S3, Collins. How much you want for that? 600?
700 it looks like.
Man.
I can zoom in.
Yeah, that's a little out of
on
mine.
that. No, 400.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Now, that matching box, antenna tuner, whatever, on top, you can't go wrong with it. Very sturdily built. It'll tune about anything. That thing is still very useful today. Although probably
Yes,
most
very
new
much so.
people probably want an auto tuner, and you'll probably get one that comes from China or somewhere. They're getting real cheap now, but that's a manual tuner, and it is well built, man. It's built like a tank. It works just as good today as it did back in the day that they manufactured it. Vera sweep.
That's just a sweep generator. Signal generator.
Yeah, I guess. Interesting. There we go. Got a couple signal generators. Those are cool. You know, I got a couple of those military signal generators like that. I would take to the hamfest and try to sell, but man, they're so heavy. I bet you one of them I've got up there probably weighs 40 pounds, and the other one's probably close to it. And they're big. I don't know if anybody would buy those if I took them to the hamfest or not, but they'll go up in the VHF UHF range, and they're good signal generators. I just don't know if people use stuff like that anymore.
Not very many. No.
I probably won't take it because it's so heavy. Probably won't. Yeah, I like the layout again. It's very clean, laid out very neatly there. Look at the bands.
Yes.
And if you'll notice, this is similar to the receiver, my first receiver. The bands there, each one of those bands is a ham band. That's not a general coverage right there. You can see, the band right there, 28 to, what is that, 28 to 30, and then, 7.0 to, where does it go? 7.0 to
7.35.
wait a minute.
Or
Yeah.
there.
So it's just ham band only. So you got great band spreading just by tuning on the dial there. It's not like the ham band is 1/2 inch long. You got the entire ham band from left to right of the display here.
Yeah, that's the SF1.
This is, I've seen this, RME receiver, looks like. Cool.
It is a dual version communication receiver.
Yeah.
It's an RME model 4350.
Man, look how that thing shines. Look at the knob and the finish on that case. It looks like it's been
Yeah.
stored in a dust-free place all its life. Let me check the chat room here real quick, see if we're missing anything.
Yeah. A9SCX says you hold a hamfest at your place. That way you don't have to move or load anything.
Boy, I tell you, I could do one for sure here. I could do it. I could sell stuff for a penny a pound and come out in really good shape, man. All right. Okay, now, man, we're getting into some modern stuff now. What do you think the date on this is?
Yeah.
You know this stuff more than I do.
That would be.
Glenn. Is that like in the 70s, maybe? 80s?
Yeah.
Early?
That would have been in the late 70s, early 80s, probably about 1980.
All right, we got an expert on here. Mark P says 1988. He would have given
There
us.
you go.
He would have given us the month and a day, but he didn't want to embarrass us. Thank you, Mark. 1980.
Thanks,
yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, 1988. Atari.
Beautiful.
I've got a VIC 20. I'm guessing that's in the 70s, man. VIC 20. I think it's got 8K of memory. I still got it up here in the attic. I could probably get $1,000 for it, man. You got to have a TV to hook it up to, though.
Actually, those retro computers can back. All those old parts are being people.
Yeah. What do we got here? What is this? A remote
This
control?
also remote. That is about the size of Apple iPhone.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
man.
huge.
I don't need one of those. I got too many remotes and drawers now. Every time I get a new TV, I get a new remote. Let's see. All right.
This is one that would have loved. This National NCX3 receiver. I have these. Nice, Leo.
Well, it's hard to read the name National
I don't
on
know.
there. It was hard. You
that
put it out of focus
picture.
on purpose, I think, just so we couldn't tell.
That
what
was
it
a test of your eyes. It is an NCX.
That's cool. That's cool. It looks very plain. You know, it doesn't have that appeal to me like a lot of the helicopters
Very
have.
functional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it works. All right, let's see. This is kind of getting back toward what I like, the way the
There you go.
straight bands are laid out. You know, oh man, yeah, I like it, man.
Yep.
I like it, even though it's
Yep.
a national.
Beautiful old.
Even though it's a national, that's not my favorite brand. This looks more commercial, like it would go in into a bomber or something. I mean, you know, it's not pretty and sexy and sleeky. It's more square and it does everything and it fits in a square hole in an airplane. You know, that's what I think about this one. NC 125. I'm sure it's a good receiver. TR4, cool.
Back to
A lot of
and
people,
the speaker.
A lot of people like the Drake. I was just checking my phone and something came in on it. Oh man, I probably, I don't know if you guys probably don't, but I get calls all the time where I'm approved for a $500,000 loan. I don't know, man, so many people want to loan me money, man. I get calls all the time, man. They were just going over my paperwork and
Yeah.
I've been approved. It looks like I've been approved for the $500,000.
Yeah.
Oh man, here we go.
There's your Collins.
Well, they're trying to get on my good side by having that straight dial, and you know, still, it's kind of square looking, like it fit in a
Nope.
hole, like a I don't know. No, this is pretty good. I like it.
Hallicrafter's got
Yeah, I like it. Victronics. This is some MFJ stuff here.
yeah. Coax, Swiss WR.
Look at that! Look at that Tentec above it. Boy, that's a crude one. That must be the first one that they kicked out of the R&D. You know, I don't remember any Tentec looking like that.
That's a tuner.
A what? A tuner? Is it?
Tuner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is. A Tentec tuner. Huh.
A 2 kilowatt tuner.
Well, can't go wrong with that. And there's the tube you need to go with it, right there.
There you go.
Now I don't know what tube that is.
What big
a
tube.
lot of Russian tubes over the years have been coming out. That's where a lot of people get these high power tubes, and they also get vacuum variables from Russia. I don't know why they make so many over there. It's kind of interesting. Got a tube.
That is high mu power triode.
That looks like a glass tube. If you're looking at the top, a glass tube with a metal heat sink around it. Interesting.
That rated for 5 watts.
Depending on how old it is, that tube can run a couple hundred watts.
It's 5 watts according to the paperwork.
How many? Did you say 5?
5. 5.
Oh. I don't know what it is. Is that a mouse? Is that a mouse ball there in the bottom? Maybe somebody invented a mouse like 80 years ago. I don't know.
That is a multi-unit made by the Work-Right Radio Corporation. George W. Walker multi-unit. It's probably.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't want it. No. Whoa, let's see. I don't know. This may be getting interesting. So that's getting in my price range right here. I'm not sure what this is. It's a transceiver. I don't really.
Galaxy 5 transceiver.
I don't really like the dial on the side. That's kind of a turn off for me.
No.
And if you notice the top
That
the top left switch is looks like a spring loaded. That's probably your transmit switch right there. Might be interesting.
top switch is the calibration adjust.
Grid dip meter. Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, basically, if you've got a antenna analyzer, that's basically a grid dip meter now. And just put you a loop on it and hold that loop near your coil, and where it dips is the resonant frequency. Oh boy, that's getting back your time, Glenn. You know what that is?
That is a Grunow AM receiver.
Huh? Interesting. I don't need that, so we're gonna keep going. Now you're outside.
This is the view towards the outside flea market. The building in the distant center there is where they have out there. They have tents underneath that
Okay.
pavilion.
All right. Now there we go right there. There's an SP600. That's what I'm talking about. I had one. I let it get away somehow. But look at there, man. Oh, that's sickening looking at that. All the knobs are missing and stuff's been cannibalized out of it. That was a good receiver, man.
Well, fear this guy has 10 of them in addition. So he had several that were very, very nice looking.
Yeah, he probably had to cannibalize, one or two just to make the others okay, Yeah, but there it is, SP600. I had one. I had it rack mounted. Back then, guys, you had to have a big rack. I had a big rack that was about, 4 feet tall, 5 feet tall. It was a double rack, so that makes it about 40 inches, 40-something inches wide. And it had wheels on the bottom. I could roll it around in the shack. And I had several rack-mountable things in it. All right. Now, see, we're back to Helicrafters. Look at the design.
This is a National.
The design. And what gets me, they use the same knobs on all these, man. I mean, that's kind of their trademark. All these had those nice knobs.
This is National.
Oh, is it? Oh, wait a minute.
National.
They stole the knob. They stole the knobs.
Stole the knobs.
The Helicrafters had knobs similar to that. They were that about that color and had the little grip notches around them there. So yeah, that is a National. It kind of caught my attention. I kind of like it because it has that straight tuning scale right there.
Like a sled.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me also of the Drake. Was it the Drake 2B? See the flip switches? The Drake 2B has flip switches across it, just like that. Yeah. Yep. Transmatch. I think this was built for CB. Actually, I think it's got a whip there for field strength. It's got a meter which will supposedly read power, will read field strength and SWR. And again, it doesn't have the cross meter, so you have to calibrate it, forward and then go to reverse. I've got one in my closet here that's a different brand. It looks almost just like that, but it's a different brand. I need to sell it, I guess, at the Hamfest. Now, I don't know about this. That looks homebrew. That looks homebrew to me.
It looks homebrew. It's called a Raider, but it's got 10 through 4. So I don't know.
I'm going to guess that's homebrew, and it's got a bunch of TV sweep tubes in it. Does anybody want to challenge me on that? Homebrew, sweep tubes. He did a good job labeling some of the switches,
So who wants to guess how much power that amp puts out?
Was that? Oh, Brett's okay.
Brett's
Cool.
joined
Brett's
us,
with us.
And KA minus.
All right. Homebrew, sweep tubes in it. Homebrew amplifier. That's my guess.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one?
I think we all know what band runs.
Who?
10-4, good buddy.
We know what band this one.
Yeah, I would say that's commercially made, I think, but it's a low end.
It is.
It's a low end amplifier, to tell you the truth. But that's probably for Citizens Band, which you could easily convert it to ham. Just change the tank coil out in it and tap it in the right places. You could, it'll work. But I don't think it's in the same class as, your Meritrons or any of your other amps, like that. All right, 600. They're bringing a pretty good price down in Orlando on these. I've seen them cheaper, I think.
It was dropped to $5. That one on the top, the label top says $550.
Yeah. Model S76. I remember it. I've seen it before. Never had one. But it takes a beating and keeps ticking. Look at that. This one still works, but the volume's low. Maybe it needs a new speaker. Speaker's probably all dried out and rotted off, I don't know.
Or maybe a new cap.
What was that, Brett? What did you say?
A lot of the times the caps in the audio output stage go bad, and that volume goes down.
Well, I'm lucky. I've never had a cap go bad in 60-something years. I run them 60 years old, man. If they blow up, then I'll replace them. There we go. Late model tube tester. Those are about extinct now. I know Glenn bought one a while back. I sold an ice tube tester similar to that up at Dayton a few years back. All right. That says self-service. That must have come out of like a maybe out of a pharmacy, drugstore.
Radio Shack.
Yeah, with the self-service. That was kind of interesting as I grew up and worked with my uncle in a TV repair shop. It was kind of interesting. People would take all their tubes out of the TV, all of them. It wouldn't take, if you had a horizontal problem, they wouldn't just pull the horizontal tubes out. They'd get a sack. And they'd take every tube out of the TV and take it down to Walgreens or wherever they had one of these and test every single tube. And sometimes I wonder, they may be buying more tubes than they really need. But down in the bottom of that tube tester cabinet, they actually had tubes for sale there at a drugstore. I don't think you can do that anymore. Anybody seen one lately that you can test tubes?
No, but if you notice, on the side of this got a vibrator tester as well.
Who does? Oh, this one?
On the right side of this.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Vibrator tester.
I see it. Yeah.
And so 32, 33.
Yeah, I see it.
Yep.
Well, those went out years ago with the car radios. I mean, once solid state hit the car radio market, all the old tube radios with the vibrators went away. Yeah. Heathkit HW17
This is a Heathkit I have never.
Boy, what could you do with that today? 2 meters AM. What could you do with that?
Ooh, not much.
I guess you could put it in a museum, maybe. That's about all you could do with it.
Never seen that before.
Yeah. You got 2 crystals. Wow. The 2 crystals for transmit, and it had a VFO receiver. Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. 30L1 amp, $450. That seems like a pretty good price for that, and that amp's pretty clean. That's not their big amp. The 30S1 is their big amp. The 30S1, I have a friend that just got one from a estate sale here that actually my son inherited it, and or it was in a will to him. Anyway, he got it. The S1 weighs about 300 pounds. It's a big cabinet, amplifier on top, power supply on the bottom, and it's heavy, very heavy. I always wanted one of those, but the one that Chris got, I think, wasn't working, and a good friend of ours wanted it, and he got it from Chris. And I'll tell you, if you don't know what you're doing, that amp was a killer. The 30S1. Don't get one and stick your hands in it if you don't know what you're doing. This is a nice little amp here. We used a lot of these in the military. What receiver is that? Is that a 2B? I think it is.
It is.
Yeah, I've never seen the matching
2B.
I've never seen the matching speaker that they show here, but you can see the switches. That's what I was talking about earlier. This Drake 2B had those slide switches across it. I had one of those once. I don't know what I did with it. I've lost more stuff than over the years. I don't really know what happened to it, man. Heat kit laboratory generator. Boy, I tell you, I hate to see it. I hate to see what kind of laboratory that might be in today's world.
What kind of laboratory does it generate?
Well, it's an RF signal generator. I bet you the sucker moves up and down quite a bit, up and down the band here. I don't know. I don't know.
Goes up to low VHF, looks like.
Yeah. All right. TX4 and what's that matching receiver? Is it the RX4 or R4X? No, R.
Yeah, but those are just two TF4s.
Is that the same thing? I guess
Yes.
they're the same. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Defiant.
Nice ammo boxes.
Super.
Ammo boxes. I forget what that is. SX whatever. I forget.
25.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that meter. The meter on the very right. Is that the S meter? I think that's the S meter. Boy, look how the plastic or whatever has bubbled out and changed color on it. That's the back of some case. Don't know what's in it.
I can't tell you what that is.
There they are. Still don't know what it is. Oh. I kind of like it, Hammerlin.
It is a
HQ 120.
That HQ
120.
120. 129.
129X. It's kind of neat. I don't know.
It has a BFO for listening to SSB.
It kind of looks like an older Volvo to me. You know. I don't know. Well, let's see. I imagine more than just the switches are noisy. I imagine all the pots are noisy. That used to be a common problem in radios, especially car radios. When I was helping my uncle in the TV shop, and he had a little device when the pot's like the volume on a car radio, you turn it and it just crackles and pops real loud. That's because they're dirty. And he had a device that looked like a plunger. It was about a foot long, and you sprayed cleaner in it. You sprayed electronic cleaner in there, and then the little pipe on the front was threaded. You screwed it on the pot, and then you took the plunger and you just pushed that plunger, and it pushed the cleaning fluid into the pot. And then you just turn the pot back and forth a few times, and it typically cleaned the pot. Cool. KWM2, boy, we used a bunch of those in the military in the early 70s. That was the radio right there. They may have been KWM2As, I'm not sure. That's a Music 55. Don't know what it is.
Monk 55.
There we go.
It's hard to say.
Here's my receiver on the ground back there on the right, R390. I was trying to think of the number earlier. The R390 was very popular too as just a receiver in the military. Great receiver. I like this one. Again, you know why I like it? Because the horizontal band on it, and looks good.
Exactly.
Wow. What is this thing? What is it? Is that an antenna? Mount? Antenna? Something?
It says converter, but I can't read the rest.
That
Let me see.
is-
I can't tell what it is.
Oh, yeah. Hang on, I can read it.
Got some kind of cable around it. I guess
Jet
that's
motors can
a who?
to your favorite radio to 535 kilohertz. Place GM smoking stand to your easy chair. Dial and volume control in the 281 smoking stand. This is a converter.
I don't get it. Smoking stand
It's a converter
for smoke?
for AM radio.
Okay. All right. I don't need it. Don't need it. Ooh, I don't like that one. I don't like the looks of that one.
It has buttons like a car radio.
Yeah.
Remote control converter, which uses an impedance matched transmission line between the converter and radio set.
Okay, I still don't need it. I don't
I
like it neither.
still don't need it.
That idea reminds me of what's the what's the travel trailer that back in like the 50s, the Airstream or whatever. It kind of reminds me of an Airstream or something, an RV or
String.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need that neither. Now, oh man, this brings back memories. I had one of these. I had one of these. I don't think it was in the very same cabinet. My speaker area didn't look like that. I think is that a Zenith? Can you tell?
Yep, it says Zenith.
Does it? Okay. Mine was a Zenith. It was a shortwave. And that's where I got started listening on shortwave. That's where I got started listening on shortwave. That thing was, it had like a 14-inch speaker in it, and it tuned to shortwave bands, and that's where I got started listening to shortwave on my Zenith console, just very similar to that. And I don't know what happened to it. How can I lose all this stuff over the years? How can I lose it, man?
That big.
Yeah. All right. If you get one of those, hang on to it. Those things bring a lot of money right there. It's just a simple tuner, antenna tuner, matcher. Those things go for high dollar.
There was a pile of R390.
There's another R390, and it looks good. It don't have the knobs all off, and it hadn't been robbed, so I actually would love that radio right there, the R390. I bet it was a lot of trouble making that mechanical digital readout there match the real frequency, Gee. But
Yeah.
there was
cycles and kilocycles.
Yeah, they were smart enough people to make that stuff happen. I don't know, man. That one looks good. Looks good and clean. $300. Nah, that's getting a little too old for me.
That's a 50J.
HQ 170A.
A.
Yeah. Cool. It actually had a clock in it. You could tell what time it was. There it is again. It looks pretty clean on the front.
Yeah, that's a 1A.
And there are your two Heathkit amps. I think one's a SB200 and one's the SB220, if I'm not mistaken. I think one will run like a kilowatt and the other one will run...
Those are hundreds.
What is it?
Those are two.
Yeah, you broke up a lot. I didn't get that. Can you read the numbers?
200s are both.
Oh, both of them are two. Well, yeah, you know, the one on the right for me looked bigger than the one on the left. I thought it might have been the 220, but they're actually identical. I don't know. Looks like it's setting up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe the foot's a little taller. SB 200s. Mm-hmm. Now, you see that Drake on the left end? Either my monitor needs adjusting, or it looks like the roof is slanted on it. Does it look like that to you?
Yes, it's probably the angle of my phone or something.
Yeah, it must be. It sure looks like the roof is slanted. The left is higher. Well, he's got the Drake L4B amp, and then he looks like he's an all Drake station there. Pretty, but nah, not for me. $75.83. That's getting back olden days. What is it? I can't tell what it is.
It is a Sky X2S.
Man, I never saw one of those. That must have come out of the space shuttle. I've never seen one of those. That is a Heathkit VFO, or pieces of one. There's your, I think one of those is a Heathkit Apache, like I tore up, and I don't know, both of them might be.
One is an Apache.
Is one of does it say Apache on it? The Apache matches.
Yes, the right one.
Okay. I guess I can't tell if they're the same or not. They kind of look the same.
The one is a right is an Apache.
Yeah. I don't know what that is to the right.
Is 20. I
don't know what that is to the right. Looks like it's the amplifier, probably.
That is a HL 2200 Heathkit.
Oh, okay.
And that is your SB 220.
Yep. Another 75S1. Got some Hammerlin, and I don't know. There's that other thing that I never seen one before. Don't know. I've actually worked on one of those in the TV shop. I forget what brand it was, but it's kind of interesting. the picture tube would actually turn, left to right. And all the cables went down through the center pipe that went down. Interesting TV. Ooh, 350 on the analyzer, Rig Expert. Those things are pretty expensive.
Yeah, that Radio Shack receiver, the DX160, is still one of the best.
Yeah.
If you're just SWLing, they're great.
Yeah. Well, Collins. I guess that's the that's a Collins amp.
30L1.
Yep, 3001, and the other one was the 30S1. Spy radio. That looks awful big for a spy radio. I bet you now a spy radio might fit inside of a ballpoint pen. Wow.
These days, the spy radio is a USB dongle.
Yeah. All right.
True. How's that for a power solid state?
It's kind of funny that look at that dial. They've got the cities. There's Rio, there's Cairo, there's Moscow. And that's those are printed on there. And I guess back when these radios were popular, maybe Radio Moscow was on the spot where it's marked Moscow. I don't know, but you would think over the years those frequencies would change and that dial would become obsolete.
They kind of staked out their claims back in the day and
Yeah.
overpowered anything that came near them.
Yeah, yeah. That's an early Heathkit. Look at here, it's in a wooden box. Now, I've never seen this. I wonder if it... Surely the Heathkit didn't come in a wooden cabinet. Surely.
No, I think somebody moved it out of the case.
Yeah, maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't have a case when you ordered it. I don't know.
Are you sure that that's wood and not spot welded metal? It's hard to tell because it's got diagonal seams in the corners.
Well, I'm looking at the 45 joints down at the bottom, like where they were painted. It looks like you're kind of coming apart. Like you're not, like you're wood, and maybe they were.
Yeah, there's cracks in the wood on the bottom. It's definitely wood.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Interesting. There's another transoceanic. That one looks like it's been on the ocean or on the beach for sure.
Oh, that's a World War I. That was transoceanic.
Man, he won a lot of money for that. That must be a rare one. Sky Buddy.
Sky Buddy.
Are they selling a hammer?
That is the Collins adjustment tool.
Oh, wow. They want a lot for it.
For the 70A3.
Yeah, I think I've already looked at one of these. I don't want one of those. Let's see. I'm going to check the chat room here again real quick. I don't know if you guys are following it or not. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got here real quick. Test record. That's what we need. We need to get it for the show. Test record.
An NAB test record.
Yeah. Low mesh.
Mesh very well presented at the fest.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, it says Meshtastic, so that's probably what they're about there.
Yeah. Is that the
I think
is that the main ticket
They're
barrel?
there. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's not very big. I guess it got pretty full, didn't it?
It was about half full, yeah.
Wow. I tell you, I don't think that would hold the Huntsville tickets.
Oh, they pulled my name out.
They pulled her name out. Is this where we came in right
Twice.
here? Is this where we came in? Let's see.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we came in. Okay, well, that was interesting walk around and got to see a lot of neat things there. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was
okay.
really, really cool hamfest.
Very good. Well, look, Brett has got. Brett, you say your video is about 15 minutes?
Yeah, that would take us right to the very last minute.
Yeah, it'll just about fill the show up. Let's do this. Take a quick 1 minute break, and we're going to come back. And then Brett has a hamfest you went to. What hamfest was that?
This was the Rocky Mountain Ham Swap Fest in Brighton, Colorado.
Okay, how far is Brighton from you?
They had a lot more good stuff on the tables. Not just transceivers either. All sorts of things.
Okay, all right. Well, get ready to share if you can, and we'll be right. We'll be back in a minute.
I'll do that.
Let's all go over to ICOM and check out the IC705. The IC705 is an HF 50, 144, and 440 megahertz multi-mode portable transceiver. It gives you base station performance and features in the palm of your hand. The IC705 is a perfect sidekick and QRP companion. Its compact rig weighs just over 2 pounds with RF direct sampling for most of the HF band and an IF sampling for frequencies above 25 megahertz. It includes a 4.3-inch touchscreen with live band scope waterfall, 5 watts with a BP272, and 10 watts with a 13.8 volt DC. Integrated GPS with antenna and GPS logger. Supports QRP, QRPP operations. Heard it, worked it, logged it for the love of ham radio. For more information about ICOM's amateur radios and to locate a dealer, please visit icomamerica.com/amateur. All right, guys, let's get ready and go out west and see a ham fest is out west, not the one that's on the East Coast, but we're going west now. Never know what Brett's going to come up with. That we might even see a couple of cowboys and Indians. I don't know if they were out in that area or not. But go ahead, Brett, and I'll bring you in here full screen.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have cowboys and Indians, but Valentine's Day weekend was a busy one. Down in Denver, they had the Midwinter Bluegrass Festival. And so I started off the weekend the day before the Hamfest, going to the Bluegrass Festival, and people were just jamming. They brought their instruments and they jammed all over the hotel, including the elevator lobby. You come out of the elevator and run into a bunch of musicians jamming, and they'd ask you to join in. So I spent the night before doing this. I was playing bass.
Where are you there? I don't see you.
Well, I was behind the camera just there.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But, oops, let's get this going again. But anyway, they had, it was the Bluegrass Festival was big. They, they filled the whole hotel, huge lobby, everything else. And there were a bunch of hams there. So they kind of all came over with me to the Ham Fest, which was in the nearby fairgrounds, maybe about 3 or 4 miles away. And so let's see, we ought to switch in a minute and come over to the Hamfest and start looking at things that were displayed in the swap meet. If I can get to it, there we go. So a lot of the usual stuff, amplifiers. There's a old GPS receiver. Little hotspot there. Old telephone stuff. But really quite an amazing variety. And it was crowded. I had to dodge people because everybody was shopping hard. There you have a 900 megahertz Yagi antenna. And since I'm exploring Meshtastic and Meshcore and some of those other 900 megahertz things, I bought this one for $10.
You know, I have one just like that I found up in the attic when I was taking some junk up there last week.
Mm-hmm. That's about a 12 dBi or so 900 megahertz antenna. I like the name on this. This is a oil can dummy load.
Yeah.
It just says big dummy.
Does it have the original oil in it?
Probably.
Oh boy!
And they had a raffle, of course. And I went ahead and tried my luck.
How'd you do? How'd you do, man?
Didn't win anything. I hardly ever win raffles.
Now wait a minute. You had 7 tickets. You're telling me you didn't win nothing?
No, I didn't win anything with the 7 tickets.
You ought to be ashamed
One
of
guy
yourself.
won about 4 or 5 times. He must have bought the entire store out. So here's a really nice looking Go box. I like to build myself one of these. Soldering equipment. This is a nice old publication. These are huge diodes.
Yeah. Oh man, was all that stuff free in that box right there?
Some of it was.
Man, I wanted those capacitors.
Yeah. Lots
Oh.
soldering.
So I like that solder. Hey man, I gotta have that soldering iron in the middle right there.
There you are. High wattage. Everything else is a belt sander mixed in with the radio gear. There were a lot of things, again, that were not radio gear mixed in.
Hey, back just real quick, back to that big soldering iron. Back. Many years ago, we were building some surface mount stuff, very, very, very small stuff, and we had a little old 14-year-old boy down the street. He was building his, and he was using that soldering iron, that big one, like you'd put gutters together with, and he was building the surface mount stuff with that big soldering iron, and his stuff would work, and our stuff wouldn't work. All right, I'm sorry. Next.
And you have a fine enough touch. Maybe you can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was trying to figure out what this thing was. Any ideas?
Yeah, I think it's a kryptonite paraphase thunderbolt greaser sapper.
So anyway, this fellow was 3D printing extreme battery life batteries. So if you wanted a battery for your HT that lasted forever, you could buy one from him. And the 3D printer was hard at work there, not just printing the cases, but doing labels for your radios, all sorts of things. These folks had all sorts of interesting doodads. There's a scanner. MFJ memory keyer.
Oh, yeah.
Big antenna tuner. Big heat sinks. and lots of random parts, knobs, tickler coils.
Yep.
And that is a humongous high voltage capacitor.
Yep.
There are your little pancake capacitors and vacuum capacitors.
Yep.
And ballons. So that was pretty much everything. This is a really good swap fest. If I'm looking at something in particular, this is where I'll go. Look at all those caps.
Oh yeah.
And on the floor, all those antennas. Those weren't free, unfortunately. So there was also a lot of GMRS and a lot of FRS and a lot of MURS. So some of the other licensed or unlicensed or lightly licensed services were there. Telegraph sounder there.
I tell you.
And they
Is that a
nice
one? Is that a
radios.
100 or a 101? Can you read it?
I'm trying to
That's it's below the knob. Can you read that?
That's the 101, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. The 100 came out first, and then the 101 came out. I'm not sure what the difference was. They were almost identical. And that was my first sideband rig. I built the 100. And instead of the power supply to the left there, I just built a homebrew power supply for it out of TV parts. And that radio cost $149.99 when I bought it, the 100. And 20 years later, I sold it for $250. So I sold it for just about the same thing that I paid for it.
Old digital multimeter. And CB walkie-talkies, the big ones.
Yep.
They were a full 5 watts. And a G90, one of my favorite radios for digital modes. The price is coming down on these. It's now $350, and you can do a lot with them. There's a K2. Google Wi-Fi. And under the table, monitors and things, almost free. They didn't want to take them home. So that, I'm not sure whether that's a tuner or an amplifier. It looks like a tuner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, sorry about that.
Those guys get around.
Yeah. Sorry about that. It jumped backward.
That's all right.
Okay.
We may
Let's
see
get back
something
to
we
where we
missed.
were. Okay, let's get back to something. Here we are. Okay, here's approximately where we were.
Yeah.
So again, these CB walkie-talkies, I had them. They ran through batteries like crazy, but they actually put out 5 watts. So there's the G90 again, the K2 again. If you ever need a computer monitor, the people who have them at Hamfest don't want to take them home. You can usually get it for free at the end of the show. Lots of these linear power supplies. and cable. Now, this was kind of interesting. Here's a substitution box with decades, manual sliders. And here was an old analog frequency meter. It worked by having a filter in it, and the closer you were to the center of the filter, the more power you got out of it. I'm not sure exactly what these are. They look like primitive tube testers.
Yeah.
There is an old sextant for surveying. The fellow said it was Russian. Another little tube tester.
That's a high voltage
And there
probe
were,
right there.
yeah, bunches of oscilloscopes all over the place. They had every kind from handheld ones to huge old ones on carts. Lots of caps. So anyway, I kept walking. Another Ameritron amp. More tuners, more power supplies. This is, general, same sort of stuff that you were looking at before. Here's one of the Helicrafters with a linear dial. And this is a Jigu X200, 6200. I'd never seen that one. I'd only seen the 6100. So I played with that for a bit. And then, of course, you get at a hamfest, you sometimes get crafters. The XYL comes along and brings their crafts. And this was a table of those. And here be dragons. So if we go up and up and up, there's an antenna on this mast. So you can see this is a Cushcraft. It's a dual band UHF VHF. There's an ICOM IC705. This is a GPS watch. This is an interesting one. People were even selling EV stuff there. That was an adapter to adapt your EV to a Tesla charger. More radios. Almost anything you wanted, you could find there.
What's that free right there? Hey, what was that free, man? I want it.
Okay, let's go back. Let's see where we are.
A little more, a little more.
If I can find it. A little more back.
There it is, free. What is that?
Free cable modems.
Oh, I probably can't use that.
Well, who knows? Maybe it would stop some of the glitching in your cable connection. I don't know. IC7300, this guy just wanted to unload it. I guess he wants the Mark II or something. He was selling it with the RT Systems software and an IF tap. And he was only asking $600. This lasted about 5 minutes.
I see that Gigaparts is selling the 7300 now for about $800, but that's the
Yep.
it's plain 7300. The 7300 Mark II, that sucker's going for over $1,400 now. And I've watched a lot of videos where people have done comparisons and tried to compare the specs, and they're saying there ain't much to gain in the Mark II.
No, not from RF performance, really, except that you don't have to tweak the RF gain as much to avoid overloading. That's the one thing about the Mark II that is an advantage. But mostly it's things like the Ethernet interface on the back and HDMI instead of DVI for the video
Yeah,
that make it
yeah.
worth it.
Oh boy,
There's
that's a
nice
pretty
holograph.
clean. That's a clean Helicrafters there.
Yeah.
How much you want for that? I was looking at the price.
Oh, there was a price tag on it. Let's go back.
Yeah, let's see what he wanted for that.
Okay. Let's right after here.
Yep, right there. Can anybody read that?
Looks like you wanted $50 for it.
Yes, 50.
That's probably a pretty decent deal there. But it's clean.
It is.
Yeah.
And more things. Elecraft, video projector, calculator. This is useful for doing your taxes. And TVI filters.
Yep, I got one just like it.
Not sure what that is. It looks homebrew.
Yep.
Rotors. This fellow had a table full. And of course, tubes. Lots of them. Classic Ameritron amplifier. More caps. And there was some tower hardware there, not a lot. And people brought their junk boxes. They're selling parts out of them. Lots of little caps there.
Yep.
This fellow had balance, antennas. And there was an AH4 that I almost sprung for because it was $200, and that's a good antenna tuner. FT991. Not the A, though.
Yeah.
The A has a nice bend scope.
The A has a real-time spectrum scope. The non-A spectrum scope is not real-time.
Yeah.
It just takes a snapshot. You have to refresh it every time.
Mm-hmm. Some more antenna tuners.
Free.
Another free table. Another free table.
Free. Look at all the free stuff, man.
PCMCIA cards. It's hard to find a laptop that takes those.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those around here.
Yeah. Lots of HTs. We're getting near the end here.
Clean scope.
And signal generators and scopes. And that particular scope was a Bell and Howell, and I didn't even know they made them.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, that one was a Heathkit. I did see a Bell and Howell though.
Yeah.
And then this fellow had these little teeny tiny keys that were handcrafted.
Mm-hmm.
And the fellow who made them apparently was a selling key, and they were selling off his stock, and they were beautiful. Not that much audio gear, but there was some. Vacuum tube CB. Another telegraph sounder, antenna analyzer, and that radio was really clean and sold quick.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure what this thing on the bottom was.
I think that's a communication. It's for tuning up and aligning, and mobile radios, two-way radios.
Yeah. The interesting thing was it had a mic, and I couldn't figure out if it was monitoring it, why it would have a mic.
Yeah, they have mics on.
And lots of stuff on the floor. Little SDR. And we're coming to the end here.
All right, cool.
And that's what I got. So,
Well,
again, everything from a bluegrass festival to a hamfest. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, it's been interesting. I feel like I've been at two different hamfests. Both of them were really good. Let me make a couple just quick announcements here. Hey guys, just to let you know, I have ordered Starlink to evaluate and just play with. Not that I'm going to run it here, but I may end up putting it over in North Carolina where we only have DSL. But it's supposed to be delivered here Thursday, and it's going to be interesting. I'm getting the Starlink Mini. You lay it on the ground, you plug it in, and it works. That's all you have to do, man. Okay. Hey, Memphis Hamfest is coming up April 30th here. Delta Amateur Radio Club is going to be having that.
Is it the 5th? I had it as the 11th.
Did you? I may be wrong. Whatever it's on Saturday. Whatever it is, 30th, 30. What do you have?
The 11th.
The 11th.
And that came straight from the people putting it on.
Gee. Well, I'm way off.
It's also, we got Corinth on the 4th.
The Corinth Hamfest, Howard Bullard contacted us and said, hey, come on down. And he's got both Glenn and me down for forums. I wasn't planning on doing a forum, but I guess I will now. Anyway.
And Hoxie over near Jonesboro is this weekend, the 21st.
Really? Yeah, I won't be going to that. And then Russellville's coming up March the 7th. That's the next one. And we'll be going to that. That's going to be a good one over in Russellville, Arkansas, my home away from home where I went to college over and I lived over there for a few years. I always like to get back over that way. So we've done a lot of good things tonight. We've covered a lot. Appreciate it, everybody, for being with us. And we're a little bit over time, but that's okay. We'll say 73 and good night to everybody out there. And we'll see you next week. Come back and visit with us there. And again, good night. It's popcorn time.
It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WI7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong from here, DD. Oh, and Mark P. Yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. It's more than mics and modulation. It's heart and soul in every station. From kits and code to satellites. We learn, we laugh, we share the nights. So grab your rig, grab your crew, it's always something cool and new.